We light the candle for all forms of Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light the candle for all forms of Islam, honoring the path of compliance with the will of God as the highest calling. We light the candle for the universal religion of Baha'i, honoring the path of unity and peace. We light the candle for our forms of new thought, honoring the metaphysical path of mental healing through the practice of universal spiritual practices. And as Kim lights the last candle, let it represent the path that brought you here this morning. And if you would join me in consciousness, please. As I go within, as I move into that space, that place of knowing, of the knower, of the one true love, power, energy, nature, spirit. And I call it, whatever I call it, it is in me, as me, through me. And I am part of it, and it is part of me. And so, knowing that, I here with my brothers and sisters in celebration of this collectiveness, we call our spiritual home Capistrano Valley. And what a joy it is to behold, a joy it is to unfold all activities, all words, all notions and thoughts and deeds are done through the power of that one. And so I've declared this day oh so good, oh so very good, because it can be no other. And for where I reside, it is always pure love, pure spirit, pure joy. And so in that knowing that I've set this tone, I've declared it to be so, law has taken it and said, yes, Michael, yes, and oh so much more. For we are truly gathered here as the unity of the power of that one. And so now I simply allow it to be. It unfolds in the order that is in order of the perfection of that one. And so recognizing that, in the group consciousness we affirm collectively. And so it is. Amen. Okay, so it's now my honor and privilege and joy to introduce our spiritual leader, Reverend Dr. Heather Clark.
Seem pulled to this side today. Good morning, and welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living, Capistrano Valley, where, as always, we will look at ideas that can be used as spiritual tools for transformation. It's a particularly wonderful tool that we're looking at this morning. So welcome home. I'm happy that you joined us here this morning. I'd like to introduce the people who will be on the platform this morning with me. So you already met my platform assistant, Reverend Michael DeFibo, our newest minister. And joining him later in the service will be Fred Mercado, our board vice president. Our wonderful band, our choir leader and music director, Diane King Van, piano and keyboards. Ed Cusby on guitar, David Page on drums, and Bill Dixon on bass, big bass this morning. Our special music is provided by Gino Walker and the Jewel Tones Choir. And our song leader this morning is Rick Dale, who's going to come forward now, and we're going to, Rick. We're going to sing our song for the morning, so please stand.
When I find myself in times of trouble, Spirit always comes to me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. And in my hour of darkness, it is standing right in front of me, speaking words of wisdom, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. And when the broken-hearted people living in the world agree, there will be an answer, let it be. For though they may be parted, there is still a chance that they will see. There will be an answer, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, let it be. There will be an answer, let it be. Let it be, let it be, let it be, yeah, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be. And when the night is cloudy, there is still a light that shines on me. Shine until tomorrow, let it be. I wake up to the sound of music. Spirit always comes to me, speaking words of wisdom. Let it be. Now let it be. Let it be. Let it be. Let it be. Well, there will be an answer. Let it be. Let it be. Let it be. Let it be. Yeah, let it be. Whisper words of wisdom, let it be.
And Mr. Rick, greet the people around you, and then we'll declare our principles together. And as the music finishes up, please be seated if you're not already, and take a breath or two. We're going to declare our principles. I invite you to join me. Say them as if you mean them. I believe in God, the one creative intelligence operating through the universe and operating throughout my entire being, now and always. I believe this perfect spirit operates upon a law of mind and creates my experience exactly according to my belief. I believe this perfect creative intelligence can be used by me and by every other person to produce health, abundance, and love in mind, body, and total life experience. I use it now, and I rejoice in it. And so it is. Very well done. I'd like to acknowledge those of you who are in service today. You'll notice a large group are going to stand in just a second. But if you're in service today or have been this week, would you please stand so we can give you a lot of love? And if the practitioners remain standing, practitioners are trained in the art and science of affirmative prayer And if you want your life transformed, make an appointment, see one of these people, and they will help you live the life of your desires and of your intention. And the people in service today, if you would remain standing. So Aidan Greeny is holding the high watch. Kim Province, lit the flames her faith. I'm missing one person. I know. And and, and Pam Rock. And Dave Friedman is going to come forward. He's going to read the affirmation, and then we will read it all together. Dave, let's acknowledge all our practitioners.
Today, I recognize and give thanks for all of the insights and joys I experience. I put my mind on my wins and let go of the perceived losses daily. This puts me in a perfect position to accept even more wins into my life. Thank you, Spirit. Send me more. Now together. Thanks.
This is the time in our service that we get quiet and we have a very short meditation. We begin with a chant, and we're chanting this month an Alan Dale song, Surrender. The lyrics will be on the screens. So we'll sing that chant a few times, and then I'll lead you in a very brief meditation, some silence, and then we'll end with the same chant.
Surrender to the present. Set your mind free. Let love flow. Surrender to the present. Set your mind free. Let love flow. Surrender to the present. Set your mind free. Let love flow. Surrender to the present. Set your mind free. Let love flow. Surrender to the present. Set your mind free. Let love flow.
Let your mind truly be free. Surrendering is simply letting go of that which is not like love. that which is not like God. It's as simple as breathing in and breathing out, where it is your natural state of being. If you put your attention now in the cave of your heart, in that sacred place of the Most High within, and in the silence for a few moments, just continue practicing letting go of the baggage, of the stuff that isn't God.
Surrender to the presence. Set your mind free. Let love flow.
And as you exhale again, if you haven't already opened your eyes, please open your eyes, get back in your body. You're going to want to be there because you have something really special coming right up as we welcome to the platform Gino Walker and the Jewel Tones Choir.
I think Reverend Heather has a good idea. Are we on? Come on up. We're going to flip this around. We're going to start with an old gospel song, Just a Closer Walk with Thee. And this is our first experiment putting together the fabulous Miss Gina Walker and our Jewel Tone Choir. Yes. Hurry up, you guys. Come on up. There we go. Yeah, change your plan. You know, that's the way spirit works, right? Sometimes you go, no, you know what? Now we're just going to flip this. And there you go. So you're going to hear more from the Jewel Tones later. And then after the talk, you get to have Gino all by yourself. So you're going to get a double duty expression this morning of spirit working like crazy. So we have also on piano today Andrew Van Vlier, who's going to be accompanying. Yeah, I threw a hitch in the works here, so we cool? We good? All right.
Good morning. I am willing, thou art strong. Speak me, safe from harm. I am satisfied and long as I walk close to thee. Just a closer walk with thee. Just a closer walk with thee.
Let's once more acknowledge Gina Walker and the Jewel Tone Choir. Wow. I didn't mean to change the order, but I liked it. It was great. Thank you. The whole month is about intuition. It's about living on the intuitive side, which means trusting that inner voice. It means listening to that voice for God within us and then taking action. And today's topic is trusting optimism. Trusting optimism, meaning to trust that there is a power for good in the world, in life. There's a power for good in the universe, and not only can you use it, you're using it. And it is not only as you, it is for you. It loves you. You are it as love. And so trusting optimism means, I think it means that even in the darkest hour, as my favorite Les Mis reprise goes, surely the darkest night will end and the sun will rise. Surely the darkest night will end and the sun will rise. Trusting optimism means that even in the muck and mire of things, something sings. Emerson said that, and it's to remember that always there is that tendency within us that's nudging us to see good. Now, here's the beauty of it, that in the quantum world, in the quantum reality, we know that things respond to the experimenter's ideas. What they think is going to happen is what happens. What the observer thinks is going to happen, happens. So why should we trust optimism? Because what you're observing is going to happen. If you expect it to happen, it will happen. If you expect greater and greater good in your life, that's what you're calling forth. If, on the other hand, you get into that rut or into that dark place and you think that's the end, it will not be the end. It can't be the end, but it may take a long time for your consciousness to shift and change, for you move out of that place. The greatest news of all is that we, our conscious minds, direct what's going on in our life. Everything that we can see is a result of what it is we truly deeply believe. So that's the good news and the good news. Because if all of the great things, the whole fact that you were here this morning to hear that wonderful performance came from you. You caused it. You were part of the creation of it, even if you weren't up here on the platform, because you accepted it into your consciousness as being possible. And the places where you're hurting, that also came by right of consciousness. But when we know that God, life, love is for us, we can change our mind about what it is that we expect. And when we expect more good, we draw more good to us. There's a, Helen Keller wrote this, or said this. Optimism is the faith that leads to achievement. Optimism is the faith that leads to achievement. Nothing can be done without hope and confidence. Nothing can be done without hope and confidence. So we know that it's smart to be optimistic. In the old days, someone might have called you a Pollyanna for being optimistic. And that's the best compliment they could give you. They didn't mean it as a compliment, probably. They meant you're being unrealistic. You're saying things are good when they're not good. The only way you bring the good into your life is by saying the things that you want, drawing them to you by right of your consciousness. Who you are is this mighty, moving, living, breathing spiritual being who is creating and recreating her experience or his experience. It's so good to know who you are. It's so good to know positive expectations, not an expectation that's a demand, but a willingness for good to come out of anything. A willingness, a gentleness, a welcoming of good. Even the darkest night shall end, and the sun will rise. Even the darkest night will end, and the sun will rise. One of the songs we love here is What a Wonderful World. And I was reading about it. It was written by Bob Thiel and David Weiss. They wrote it in 1968. In 1968, those of us who lived in 1968 know there was a lot of unrest in 1968. There was a lot of racial unrest. There was a lot of political unrest. There were 2 major assassinations. It didn't look like a wonderful world, and that's why they wrote the song. That's why they wrote the song, because they wanted to draw forth the awareness that I see skies of blue, trees of green. So to look at the good that you can see and focus on it and draw more of that good to you. There is Jewish teaching story, and I'm so sorry, so the Jewish scholars can tell me afterwards where it really came from. But it's one of my favorites, and I couldn't find it, so I'm going to tell it by heart rather than give you the exact ideas from it. It was required of this certain group to go on pilgrimage every year to visit their master. It was a long pilgrimage. It was many days. And so these 2 men, brothers, every year would go on pilgrimage. And they stopped at the same inn every year. You know, it was a habit. It was sort of, okay, we're going to go to a Silmar, and we're always going to stop at this place because we like it here. So they stopped, and they noticed that this inn was, the innkeeper wasn't doing very well. And they asked him if he said, you know what, I know you're going to see your master, and I have 2 things weighing on my heart. First of all, people aren't using my inn, and so there's not prosperity. And secondly, my wife has prayed for years for a child, and we're childless. We have no family. So the 2 men said yes, they would ask the master to pray, and they went, and it was a couple more days to the master. They had this wonderful spiritual experience, including asking for the requests. And one of the men also said, you know, my wife too would like to have a child. And they went back, stopped at the same inn, and already there was more activity. But there was a funny thing, too. The woman who was childless had a baby carriage, and she was walking it around town. It was empty, there was no baby in it. They had just gone to the master for the prayer, but she was walking around singing lullabies to this empty carriage. The townspeople were making fun of her. What was she thinking? There was no baby in that carriage. So the next year they went. Sure enough, the innkeeper was doing very well. His wife had had a child. The baby carriage was filled with this happy little baby. They went on to the master, and the one man, so they had their sacred time, and the one man said back, but Master, I too asked for the blessing of a family. Why did you fulfill his prayer, his wish, and not mine? And the master said, your wife didn't get a baby carriage. Your wife she didn't expect baby. She didn't expect the family. She didn't expect the good. The other wife was willing to look like a fool and claim her good. And that's what's called for all of us at times. For us to stand in the midst of whatever happens to be going on, and regardless of what other people's opinions might be, to claim our good, to see the good thing. There is good for me, and I ought to have it. Our wonderful Emma Curtis Hopkins used to say, there's good for me, and I ought to have it. Yes, you ought to, and I ought to have good too. We all ought to have good, because we're living in an abundant universe that loves us just the way we are and just the way we are not. So is there a way that you could develop greater optimism? Well, you have your own version of the baby carriage. What is it in your life that you're wanting to create? Maybe not more children, or maybe more children, but whatever it is, how can you act as if? How can you plant the idea in the universal mind that you're getting ready for this great thing? You're getting ready for this greater good. Another idea, and it's tied with what a wonderful world, because music is so powerful to change our mind, is to make a playlist of feel-good songs, of songs that are designed, that you design, to get you out of the doldrums and into action in your life. One of the things I was reading last night about this, a writer for Guidepost magazine, said she started to do that. When she went for a walk, the catchy song in her head wasn't a feel-good song, but it was up-tempo. So she put it on her playlist because it got her moving and walking. And even though the lyrics didn't get her quite there, it was a good start. You know, we're body, mind beings, right? There's a connection. There's a connection between our bodies, our thoughts, our spirit. We're a oneness, a unity. And if we're feeling bad, discouraged, angry, or distressed, and that's where our attention is going, we're going to attract more of that. We're going to see more things to be discouraged about. We're going to see more things that upset us. But if, on the other hand, we can play that playlist, get dancing with Gino, play some of her songs, get singing, get moving, get your mind elevated to where it ought to be, to that natural place of optimism. Can you trust optimism? Of course you can. If the nature of God is love, and the absolute evidence of God is joy, then when you are optimistic, when you're trusting your inner optimism, you're letting God express through you. You're saying yes to that universal mind. You're saying, yes, yes I will, yes I can. There's nothing that can defeat you. And that's exactly where we want to be. There is good for me, and I ought to have it. Please say that with me. There is good for me, and I ought to have it. I trust my inner optimism. It becomes my outward reality. All is well in my world. And so it is. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We'll let the band come back. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here this morning. And now to the platform, this time just Gina Walker and her wonderful.
Awesome lesson. Wow. Rock. You will know this song, so please sing along on the chorus. Don't be shy.
Your love is lifting me higher than I've ever been lifted before. Fills me up, quench my desire. I am living love forevermore. I said your love keeps on lifting higher, higher and higher. I said your love keeps on lifting higher and higher. I once was down and broken hearted. Disappointment was my closest friend. And the spirit, and it departed. And I'm living life in love all over again. I love keeps on lifting higher, higher and higher. I said your love keeps on lifting higher and higher. I'm so glad I finally found you. I see your face everywhere. I feel the loving of the Spirit all around me. And we can stand up and tell the world your love keeps on lifting higher, higher and higher. I say your love keeps on lifting higher and higher. Here we go, come on. Your love keeps on lifting higher, higher and higher. One more time, I say your love keeps on lifting higher, higher, higher. Woo! I say your love keeps on lifting higher, higher and higher. I say your love keeps on lifting higher, higher and higher. Your love keeps on lifting higher,
Wow. We're pumped up now. Whew. If the stewards would come forward, this is the time for our offertory. And oh, I missed something. If you're visiting us for the very, I saw the people coming up and I skipped a beat. If you're here for the very first time, we have a small gift for you. And if you raise your hands, it'll be delivered right to you. So I know that there are some people here for the first time because right here, right here, right here, right here, right there. Keep your hands up until they. There's some information about our center in the bag and a welcome card. And if you fill in the welcome card and take it to the bookstore, you get another gift, a book of your choice. So let's welcome our visitors. We're really happy you were here this morning. And hope that you'll come back and get to know us better. Now, stewards, if you'd come forward. This center, like every other center like it, is completely funded by the gifts and offerings of those who attended. And so for the visitors, let the basket pass by unless you just have to give, and then we understand that. But let us take care of our center this morning. And this morning, rather than me saying consciousness out, if you have a gift, if you would just take it in your hand, press it to your heart and just silent. However it is that you want to say thanks for this that you have, just silently do so. And then we'll say our affirmation together. My offering is my acceptance of God as the source of my supply and symbolizes my faith in the abundant flow of this supply.
No? Yes? Good? On? All right. So we're going to give you a sample of one of our songs that we are doing as part of our Swing Time Cabaret show, Friday, June 13th. So make sure you mark your calendars. It's one night only of this show. Okay, not two. So June 13th, that Friday night Swing Time Cabaret, we're going to fill the sanctuary with music from that whole great swing time era. And so we have a sample for you now called I Can't Give You Anything But Love.
I can't give you anything but love, baby. That's the only thing I've plenty of, baby. Dreaming a while, stealing a while, you're sure to find happiness. And I guess all those things you always find for cheap. I'd like to see you looking swell, baby. Diamond bracelets for what doesn't sell, my baby. Till that lucky day, you know darn well, my baby. I can't give you anything but love. I can't give you anything but love, baby. That's the one and only thing I've plenty of, baby. Dreaming a while, scheming a while, you're sure to find happiness. And I guess all of those things you always find for cheap. I'd like to see you looking swell, baby. Diamond bracelets Woolworth doesn't sell, my baby. Till that lucky day, you know darn well, my baby. I can't give you anything, can't give you anything, can't give you anything but love. Nothing but love.
we'll send the basket around to the choir afterwards if they got missed. Well, I saw that they wanted to. We always want people to give, but please, let's we'll send it around after. So the Fred will go around that way and collect the stragglers. So please repeat after me. On behalf of my beloved center, I receive these gifts, knowing they bless everything they touch and return to every giver, multiplied, pressed down, and spilling over. And so it is. Thank you, stewards. And now Reverend Michael and Fred. So Fred can't do that because he's got another job. And you can use that like this mic.
Good morning again, everyone.
Morning.
We're going to
I
tag
just
team.
want to take this moment, Michael, just to welcome you into our center. So everyone.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I can't tell you enough what a joy and privilege and honor it is to be here in my spiritual home, Capistrano Valley.
All right.
So,
Excellent.
all right, we've got a plethora of activities going on, which is symbolism of our thriving, so bear with me. You see my best side now. Go, Fred.
Okay. So let's see. Conscious connection. Today in the sanctuary and every Sunday in the sanctuary, immediately following the service, are a group of people that get together and discuss the concepts that we live by and what it is that grounds us in this thinking. So you're welcome to attend, and it's always open to anyone wishing to add things.
Great. And we've got this Wednesday night, May 21st, in the sanctuary, Reverend Ann Ronan with her talk, Travel Courageously. Is Reverend Ann here? Okay. Well, she'll be here Wednesday night. All right.
Okay, and then next coming up is the Lake Arrowhead Retreat, May the 23rd to the 26th. If you're interested in attending that retreat, pick up a flyer and brochure from the bookstore for details.
Wonderful. And now, when you get to know me, you're going to know that I'm probably the biggest foodie you've ever met. Trust me on that one. And so we've got going on here at the center the Gourmet for Gods silent auction. How many of you have already started the bidding on the silent auction for the Gourmet for Gods? I know I was up here 2 weeks ago. I got to go check and make sure nobody outbid me. So you want to say something real quick? Go ahead. You want my mic? Over my dead body? No.
Whatever it takes. All right, who here likes to eat? Who likes to hang out with friends? Who likes to help the center? That's what Gourmets for God is all about. Come to the back to the table, just get some more information, and I want to let you all know that June 1st is the last bidding date. So we're coming right up on it, and Fad 3 is going to have a little concert in here after service between 12 and 12:30. It's just the start of a 6 months of really good time. So come on back and say, hey, here's your mic.
Nice. You want to hear a little joke? Real quick little joke. What does it mean when a minister looks at his watch? Absolutely nothing.
Okay. Okay. Service, volunteering. This is something that's close to my heart, and I would recommend that you consider it. If just a thought that you might have had, in my view, when I serve for the church, I don't serve as a person contributing to this church. I serve as an individual serving God. So, and it happens to be at this church. So I would say that if you've ever been thinking about it, or even had a notion, I can give, I can connect more with Spirit, I tell you, this is a great way to do it. All right.
Wonderful. Okay, Sunday, June 8th, we've got a special guest speaker. What? Oh, Dr. David Alt is coming. Yeah. How many have heard him before? Seen him at a Sillamar, you've heard him sing, you've heard him talk. Wonderful. And he will be doing the workshop immediately after service. So sign up and get some David on.
All right, coming up on June the 13th is our spectacular Swing Cabaret show. I've had the chance to listen to some of the people practicing their sets, and it's going to be a lot of fun. I can tell you, I'm looking forward to it. Tickets. When are the tickets available? Rita McPhail. Not today. All right, next Sunday. Oh, okay, orchestra seats and then loge seats, etc. Yeah, okay, got it.
Ooh, orchestra seats,
You're right.
back seats.
Okay, you're up.
I'm up. The Edinburgh Lectures is postponed next. Now, Reverend Bruce, you just 30 seconds ago told me to cancel this thing. Which is it, baby? All right. So the postponement has been postponed.
All right.
Yes, I'm always like this.
Yeah. Prosperity Plus is your thing.
Prosperity Plus.
Yeah, you're supposed to be doing it.
Okay. This is very near and dear to me, and it was no accident that I got to be chosen. I get to do this as my first class here at this home of Capistrano Valley. You heard me say that you'll never meet anyone who loves food more than me. That is the supply to which is required for us to survive, yes? Without food, we're dead. Well, some would consider something else. However, and until universe changes that substance of food for my body, I'm in love with it, and it's abundant, right? Well, how many here can sit here and be comfortably saying, I love money? I love money. Why? Because money is the form that universe has chosen for the supply. Yet I have uncovered so many times that we have a tendency to want to, when we hear the word money, it's almost like the other word sex. I mean, that's BS, belief system. So what I'd encourage you to do, how many have done the Prosperity Series before? And I worked very hard with Reverend Colleen and her people and Mary Morrissey on the redo of this. In fact, when we did it at Westlake, I've done it about 4 times at Westlake, and I can tell you we shifted the participants. Hundreds of thousands of dollars have shifted in that, Mary calls it an experiment. I like to call it an exercise, because an exercise, what happens? You're developing something. And so you're going to go on a journey of a 10-week exercise, and you're going to develop your muscle on prosperity. This is a little bit different than the spiritual economics course, if you've all taken that. This is down and dirty money and the love of it. And until Spirit designs something else, like maybe trees or something that is the source of that, I'm going to use money. Yes? All right. How many of you done the course before? It is designed for you. This new course, and I wanted Reverend Colleen to call it the Prosperity Plus Plus, but they went into Plus too. I like Plus Plus. This is designed specifically for people who have taken the Prosperity Series, and I think we're working very diligently to simultaneously run the Prosperity First Series simultaneously with the Prosperity Plus 2 series so that we can get you all on board for the love of money. Right? Because that's what makes the world go round. Love and money. Okay, little short thing, probably talk more than Mary, but let's listen to Mary.
The invitation of your ministry, give you an invitation. Some of you and I have spent 10 weeks together in a program that your center offered called Prosperity Plus, a new way of living. Over the years, Prosperity Plus has not been offered more than once in your center because we have received thousands of requests from ministers, tens of thousands of requests from congregants saying, what's next? Are we in Prosperity Plus? living 3, 4, 5 times. I want what's next. Well, we're here today to offer what's next. This is for those of you who have already taken Prosperity Plus, a new way of living, which is the first version of a 10-week experiment with a way of living in harmony with the laws that govern our ability to translate the infinite abundance into the visible, measurable results in our life. So Prosperity Plus 2, Harnessing Your Invisible Power, is for you if you've taken Prosperity Plus 1. It's for you if you have a specific area of your life where you would really love to multiply and magnify the results. It's for you if you would love to discover what it is that really matters to you, and then to serve that with your time, your energy, in a way that is easy, where the abundance to support what matters to you is the natural result of your daily life. It's for you if you're willing to 10 weeks, just for 10 weeks, a small amount of time really, because truth be told, 10 weeks from now, if you keep breathing, you're going to have a life anyway. It's for you if you're willing to do an experiment and just discover that the power breathing you is so much more than perhaps you've ever known, and that what maybe seems so far away and such a difficult thing was way easier than you'd ever known. So you're being offered the opportunity, if you've taken Prosperity Plus 1, to go sign up for Prosperity Plus 2. I'm going to encourage you to do that today, because the moment you sign up, something magic begins to happen. Your energy recognizes, you recognize, oh, things are changing here. Things are changing here. It takes 7 miles to turn the Queen Mary. But the moment the captain issues the order, all hands under deck go to work on that order. Now, the minute you sign up, there's a whole part of you that knows, all right, things are going to change here. And then start paying attention to what really matters to you. Come to week 1, come every single week, and we're going to have an adventure in harnessing that invisible power and living a life ultimately that you describe, that you love living. Because we really do believe that you literally can live a life you love living, giving the gift that you came to give in freedom and ease and grace. Because the one breathing you is far greater than any circumstance in this world. You're invited now, officially, right here, right now. Come share and be part of Prosperity Plus 2, Harnessing Your Invisible Power.
Wonderful. And I'll be outside with clipboards for sign-ups, because there is materials that you'll need to purchase, all new materials. So it is specifically designed for the Prosperity Plus 2 series. So see me right after in the clipboard and get you all signed up. I can assure you there are lots of surprises in store for you aside from the course. I've added a bunch of stuff because I was so honored to do the classes many times. I've got lots of little surprises in here each week designed for prosperity and love of. All right.
All right, moving on.
What's taking you so long?
Yeah. There's a great photography class course being offered here, and the next one is on May the 31st. So if you've been one of those amateur photographers or admired other people's photography but wonder why you can't quite take that wonderful picture, this is a great class. Go ahead, Michael.
And last but not least, we have suites available upstairs, executive suites upstairs for lease. And I'm tempted, since I have to travel so far. Maybe I can put a bunk bed in there or something, but who knows. Anyway, there are some suites available. If you know of anyone, or think of some creativity of what that space is good for. I've already started. So there are, I think, 5 or 6, 5 left, only 5. So it was 7, we're down to 5. So sign up, or if you know people, go out there and grab them.
All right. That wraps it up. Thank you all for listening.